In a Center for Disease Control and Prevention report from March 2012, it was found that 1 in 88 children age 8 will have an autism spectrum disorder. Males are 4 times more likely to have it than females. I'm writing this speech because my brother, Christian, right here, was diagnosed with autism when he was 2, and I also live with 2 men with autism as well, so it's a subject close to my heart. This is my brother, Christian. The autism spectrum ranges from the milder Asperger's syndrome to the severe end of the spectrum with autism. Autism affects a multitude of people, and although the numbers keep growing, many still don't know what it is and the techniques that people use to live with it. Today, I want to share with you some facts about autism and the entire process of living with it, from first getting diagnosed to growing up with it and finally to transitioning into adult life. When you first get diagnosed, there are many services available to you. The early signs of autism are loss of speech, flapping of hands, repetitive behaviors, aggressive behaviors sometimes. It all depends on the child. Every child's different. When you do get diagnosed, usually by a team of assessors, there are several options that you have if you qualify. There's language group, which is a group that meets a couple times a week, or there's different options, and they work on speech, they work on interactive play, there's a lot of different things that they do. Then there's Early Start, which is also a program similar to that, which offers speech, occupational therapy, and other services. And then there's also home visits with floor time or applied behavior analysis, which are just interactive play techniques and kind of letting the child lead the play instead of dictating how it's going to go. Once a child is 3 years old, they age out of those early intervention services, and if they still qualify, they can qualify for other services during their time in school. One of those services is occupational therapy, where a therapist helps them be safe in their environment and use techniques to move their body safely and effectively, and just help them in ways with that. Speech is done by speech therapists, which my mom is, and there's interactive play with the child. They can use articulation, pictures, and just ways to try to develop that speech and language that the child's lacking. There's also inclusion programs, which I actually work in an inclusion program, where the children can either be separated in their own classroom, or they can be amongst the other kids. It just depends. And they just work closely with assistants and teachers to work on behaviors and just their set goals that their parents and their teachers and everyone want them to accomplish. Once they turn 21, they can no longer be in those first programs, so they begin a transition into adulthood. To do this, they have adult education and day programs. Christian, my brother, is in a program where he goes out in the community and he goes to work and he just kind of learns how to be in normal society. But there's a lot of different varieties of programs and things that they can do. Another thing that they can do is work coaching, where they have a job and a coach works with them and gets them comfortable in that position and helps them along the way. And then finally there's the transition out of the family home. Like I said before, I work with 2 men with autism, and I live in the house with them and help take care of them and just help them get along with everything that they need to do. And for my brother, we just looked at a home for him to maybe transition into. So that was really exciting, and it is a hard time for the families, but it's an exciting time as well. The diagnosis of autism is tough for anyone, but there are many programs and opportunities to help from the first moment of diagnosis to going through school and finally to transitioning into adulthood. Every person with autism is wonderful and unique in their own ways and a gift to their family and friends. That's it.